Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And also remember, if you are a bigot, that is a terrible character flaw. Now, oh boy. First, the inconsequential thing. I was just watching a video by fellow online video channel Stephen Shives, and he was talking about the differences between Conan O'Brien at age 61 and Elon Musk at age whatever the hell he is, 8 years younger, and how, Conan is self-deprecating and Elon is desperate for love, and the vast difference between the two of them. The biggest one, he said, was you look at Conan O'Brien and he seems to be happy. And then you look at Elon Musk with all of his money in the world. And when does he ever really seem happy? And I was thinking about that because there are so many people out there where their face, when it falls into a scowl, they've already got all the creases and lines for it. They've been scowling for a very long time. And I was also thinking about that difference with myself, because as depressed as I am, and I have been depressed my whole life, medicated on and off for it, diagnosed at age 22, and finally getting medicated for it. Had been depressed my whole life, but finally it was so much I had to get help. It was So, point being, even with that, even with all the horrors that I've been through, I've still mostly been, and even now, mostly been happy. It was kind of like, there was a story where I read it in a book, so I cannot tell you any of the details other than there were these two people, one of which was telling the story, or it was the other person who had the story being told to them. But the point being, they were at a place where the person who was giving the party was rich and ostentatious about it and was showing off all of the stuff he had. And one of them so it wasn't a story being told to them, but one of them said to the other, for all the stuff he has, I have something he will never have. Enough. You don't need everything in the world. And once you start craving everything in the world, you'll never get it. Part of my being happy with the stuff I have is also the realization and the understanding that there's a lot of things that are just out of my reach and my grasp. But even if I had money, I wouldn't buy everything in the world. I just need enough to, pay off my bills, buy the immediate stuff that I would like, a working computer and such like that, clothing that I can wear, a nice place to live, by nice place, I mean a place. My needs are fulfilled and I don't need much past that. And that's understanding that enough is something that I can grasp, which a lot of people will never be able to do, and they will never be happy because of that. I mean, sure, they've got money, they've got power, and, because of that, the rest of us have to suffer. But we can be happy when they never can. That's something to at least go, hey, compensation prize. On the other hand, I have not taken my computer to Best Buy today. It is noon. I went in to talk to the case manager who was going to help me, and I said, okay, there is a you break it, I fix it in Olympia, And he went, yep. And then I mentioned the store place that I looked up, that the project manager, the guy who's in big charge of the place here, mentioned that he went to and was happy with the place. It was like Fourth Dimension, blah, blah, blah. Because I can't remember, so it was blah, blah, blah. And then I looked them up and it was like, oh, they don't look bad either. So, knowing that there was more, and knowing that, yeah, it was likely to be very overpriced, I backed out of the Best Buy, went in and talked to them, and called up the You Break It, I Fix It people, actually. And I, at noon, feel like I have done a lot. Now, I know for most people, this is like you do in passing and then you're ready to start your real work. I have seen a lot of memes, and a lot of memes are true, but they're put in joke thing, and I understand that, oh, this is not a literally true thing, but there are a lot of people that take that exaggerated way to make their own point of the stuff that they can and can't do. And I have forgotten the exact thing I was going to talk about with that, but there was a meme thing. I mean, that's how I first discovered that I have ADHD and got diagnosed with it properly, because someone had done a meme thing talking about how, oh, you know, it's this much caffeine and I can't go to sleep. And this person says, oh, I need that much caffeine to go to sleep. And they said, oh, you need to talk to your doctor. That's a sign of ADHD. And I went, oh, now wait a minute, because I took caffeine tablets to go to sleep. And then, yeah, properly diagnosed with it. So just because they're posted in meme format or actual memes doesn't mean they can't point you in the right direction. So again, can't remember where my exact point was there when I was going with that, other than, you know, being happy and all that. Anyway, or no, yes, I was talking about something when I veered off on the whole computer thing. So I called up the You Break It, You Fix It people. Yes, and I was talking about how, yeah, here we are, ADHD brain. For me, having done what is so little for other people, I already feel like I have run the gamut. I am an introvert. I am high masking autistic. I have a lot of executive function dysfunction issues. It is difficult to do things. So when I do things, it can be exhausting when I'm done, especially when I only start the day with, like, say 60 or 50 spoons instead of 100 like I should have, especially since I have been taking the drug meloxicam for pain related to ibuprofen when I go to bed, so that it helps me maximum dosage when I'm sleeping, and then falls off during the rest of the day, and then I take it before I go to bed and sleep again. I've had to ration and dose it out, and I wake up in so much pain so early, and I am hurting extra. I mean, I hurt as it is. But with just one tablet instead of 2 tablets of meloxicam, I feel like I've been beaten by hammers again. So, oh, happy days. Now, where was I going with that? I think I was talking about the whole computer thing again and such. Yeah, so I called them up, and we are going to, tomorrow, I talked to the other case manager. I am so out of tune right now from lack of sleep. I am sincerely apologizing to you right now. If you are still watching, I am so appreciative. My brain is filled with just pieces, well, not my brain case, filled with pieces of chopped brown paper and chopped liver instead of functioning brain cells. My sincere apologies for the real jumping around way that I have been going at things and talking. I've been acting very manic in a way, and I am sorry about that. End result being, I called them up, and it's used up a lot of what I had for energy, especially considering my insomnia from pain, and such like that. I have been running on fumes and having all of the excess stress, like of my computer breaking down, looking at them at that moment. It's just added to the pile and made it much, much more difficult to think. Somebody in comments had said that they know how much the computer obviously means to me. And it's not even the fact that it's so good at gaming and so good at video editing. It is because I am an introvert, because dealing with people on a face-to-face basis is difficult. Because of all the issues that I have, I primarily use things like my computer as my method for communicating with the world. And when they break down, I become very isolated, even more than normal. And it's easy if you are not an introvert with social anxieties to just say, well, get up and go out and talk to people. If I could do that, I wouldn't be an introvert and all this. But I have been withdrawing because of my mental issues and such from just general society since before I even went to high school. I remember it started when I stopped watching television and was just reading books, all by my little lonesome. And I was happy that way. I would come home and go up to my room and read books when I got home from school. Didn't want to be out and around people. Whenever there were family functions, I was the first to just come down, grab some food, and then go back to my room so that I wasn't around people. This began when I was born, and as I am now only at the 62-year-old culmination of what it's been doing to me and who it has made me become. So on that, yeah, it means a lot to me, not just for gaming and not just for video editing, but for helping me communicate with the rest of the world. Now, it's not a huge amount of communicating. I talk to people online. I do social media stuff. I do this here. But while I don't require much contact with people out in the world, I do require some, and again, it's not as easy as just getting up and going out. I do get up and go out for walks. I walk as much as I can, which is more than I have been with the boots that I've got, which help with my foot, which with my bone spurs on my right foot, and then the way I've got calcium deposits on my large toe on my right foot, so it jams into the front of shoes and makes it so I can't walk. I have to wear a larger shoe, and while my feet have gotten used to that, now with the excess movement, I seem to be developing some blisters on the outside of my heels on both feet. My feet move more in the larger boots, and movement is friction, and friction causes blisters. But these are the deeper kind because they're coming in underneath the thicker callus instead of on the surface of just 1 or 2, 3 layers of thinner skin. It's underneath the thick pads. So it takes a long time to work its way up and out and stop hurting. Yay! But I'm not trying to be a bummer on anything. I'm just talking about how much I've been losing my mind. And, my sincere apologies. And not a lot of editing I can do here because it's the tablet and all using light cut. But I am going to be doing the best I can with my tablet. I did manage to get the Lenovo ThinkPad out of storage with the cable, so it's hooked up. And oh boy, does now it remind me how slow the thing is. It is still a nice piece of hardware. But loading up just Firefox to go into YouTube, it can be 5-10 seconds before it's ready for me to go to YouTube. And then when I call up YouTube, it can be 5, 6, almost 10 seconds before it shows videos on the page. Chrome, even slower. So it's painful. What I did was also reinstall Steam and try to play Paint the Town Red. It does run Paint the Town Red in slow motion. I played so poorly. Everything was off because I'd gotten used to normal playing. And this is, again, slow motion. Kick somebody and then spend a couple seconds as they go flying across the screen, instead of kick, whap, as it's supposed to be. Still though, it works, and it's better than nothing at all. The editing on it, I'm going to do these here on this. But call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you're a Patreon patron, you are a beautiful and awesome person. Thank you so very, very much. When you look in the mirror, I want you to know that you are looking at somebody who is beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. If I can, I thumbs up every comment. If not, I give a heart. And if I can't, well, I try to at least leave a reply. But I can only reply as much as my nerve compression will let me, which isn't as much as I would like, but it's better than none at all. So at least I'm trying. So hopefully I wasn't too incoherent. I know with my semi-manic behavior at the beginning, before I was able to recognize what I was doing and rein it in, I was bouncing everywhere and more incoherent than normal. I know that afterward I wasn't any more coherent, but at least I was slowed down enough to try and be. Hopefully though, when I take this thing in tomorrow, I mean, hopefully it'll be before Monday, but if it's the power supply, I mean, if they don't have one on hand. But I did call support on for the computer, and I just said, well, I said it stopped working. They said, that's weird. No, and I figure it's probably the power supply. And it asked them if there was anything proprietary, to see if I could just drag it off to a shop. Because having gotten it through Amazon, if I wanted to get anything done with it, I'd have to ship it all back over to iBuyPower. I'd rather pay for the convenience rather than waiting to ship it and then hoping that things work out that way. So yay. Anyway though, after I have therapy tomorrow, I'm pointing at an empty box that you can't see. I'm now pointing at my computer that you can't see. I'm going to be taking the computer over to you break, I fix it. I think that's what it is already. I've forgotten how the name of it in it already. But that's the plan. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So, I am going to edit this, render, upload, and that's a good thing. I'm going to try my best to take care of myself, going online and watching videos as best I can, playing what little good God, playing what little I can that this will play well, because it does play some things fairly well. I mean, Astroneer plays at normal speed. It's amazing. But there's other things that just won't even load up. So, yay on that. But I'm going to be taking care of myself as best I can with that. Playing around with this, doing what I can with this. Hopefully, if it's dry enough anytime soon, I can drag this back out and go walkies. That would be good. Do I have anything nearby? Yes, I do. If you've watched this far, if you could write sliced carrots into the comments to let both me and the YouTube algorithm know that people actually watch these videos, that would be very cool. At least one or two people out there do so, and it is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. It is a silly little game. Nobody has to play it, but it is nice when people do. Thumbs up and thank you. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. Life just doesn't slow down, and it comes at you hard, and it's got a knife, and it's going right for your throat, and if you guard there, it's going for your gut. That's a very violent metaphor. Or is it an analogy? Or simile? I'm not sure. You take care, though.